Your sister is hiding something about your father's money. What she told the bank behind your back will leave you speechless. Archangel Michael says, stay still for a moment, because the storm around you has begun to shake more than just your thoughts, it's starting to crack your reality. Someone very close to your bloodline is doing things behind closed doors, and today is the day the veil falls from their actions. Your father's name is being used, twisted, and misrepresented by someone you never expected. Behind your back, a conversation took place, an account was touched, a document was signed, and the person who authorized it wasn't supposed to be anywhere near it. She smiled in your face, made you think everything was in control, but her signature now controls more than you can imagine. The truth is, a bank official you don't even know has already placed her name next to your father's account under special instructions. Archangel Michael says, this did not start today, it was months in the making. She had the access, the story, and the connections ready, all while pretending she was just visiting the bank for routine paperwork. But the moment she walked out of that branch, everything about your father's finances shifted. The amount of money she redirected is not a small number, it is a life-altering figure. Enough to fund a new life, a different name, or even legal backing in case you discover it too soon. But Archangel Michael says, heaven has now allowed the evidence to come to light. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Your sister made a call before you did, and she claimed something she knew wasn't rightfully hers. She used soft lies, twisted family history, and spoke with the calm confidence of someone who had rehearsed every word. A transaction was made under the label of protective adjustment, but the protection was only for her own benefit. She claimed your father asked her to act on his behalf, even though you know those words were never spoken. The bank took her seriously because of a name she dropped, someone on the inside that believed her without hesitation. And now your father's last savings are under her control without your knowledge or your permission. That same night, she came home and laughed with you like everything was fine. She cooked, she smiled, she asked about your plans like nothing unusual had happened. But at midnight, she deleted messages and emails connected to the paperwork she submitted earlier that day. Type Amen to get blessing 777. A security camera inside the bank has the footage of her walking out with sealed envelopes, documents she signed using not just her name, but your father's initials as if she was him. It was a masterstroke of deceit, all done with a calm hand and an emotionless heart. What's worse, she's planning to do it again in another bank where a dormant account still exists. That account has been untouched for years, one even your father forgot about. But she didn't forget. She found a way in, through papers your father kept hidden, and she's already preparing to make her next move. Your angels say the whispers have started. Someone at the bank has begun questioning the authority she claimed to have. They are investigating quietly, and a letter is being prepared to notify the original heirs. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You must be aware now, this is not only about money. This is about inheritance, honor, and the distortion of your father's final wishes. She is rewriting the legacy in her own words, putting herself as the main beneficiary, and erasing your place one document at a time. She even went as far as to update the bank's digital records. The moment your father's name was brought up in their internal system, her contact information appeared as the primary handler. That digital trace is her greatest mistake, because it proves she acted without legal basis. Archangel Michael says, a divine reset is coming. The files will be pulled, the name will be red-flagged, and the silent auditors in the heavens will force the human system to open a case. You were never meant to be pushed aside like this. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Behind your back, she has also contacted an attorney who is willing to rewrite the will. That attorney once worked for your family years ago and remembers very little, but she is feeding him false updates about your father's current state. What she hasn't realized is that a handwritten letter from your father still exists, one that has not been shared or scanned. That letter will surface when the time is right. It speaks of fairness, love, and the equal rights of all siblings. It was written on a rainy morning when he suspected that someone would try to alter what he wanted. Your sister believes she has time, but heaven is counting the minutes down. By the end of the coming week, someone she doesn't expect will confront her with questions she cannot answer. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The bank manager who processed her request has started reviewing it again, after a random audit picked up a mismatch in the handwriting samples. Your sister doesn't know this yet, but that manager has now flagged the transaction and marked it under family fraud suspicion. You will soon receive a call from the bank asking to verify details you never gave them in the first place. She told the bank your father was no longer mentally stable to manage the account. She brought a copy of a medical report, twisted in its wording, and passed it off as truth. But Archangel Michael says, this document is forged and was printed on a printer that had already been marked in another fraud case 2 years ago. The web she built is starting to tear apart. And in the silence of your room, your spirit has been warning you, but now the alarm is loud. The light is exposing her actions, and the angels are putting names and timestamps together. Type Amen to get blessing 111. More messages will be revealed. The email she sent last Thursday contained a file attachment that proved she attempted to delete your name from the Joint Authority list. That list was submitted to the Estate Department just days before your father fell sick. She thought no one would trace it back. She believed her plan was flawless. But one simple call from the bank to an old number, your number, will break everything she tried to keep hidden. When that phone rings, do not hesitate. Say everything. Provide every paper, every voice message, every memory of what your father told you. Because they will ask for your statement to build the case. Type Amen to get blessing 555. She is now trying to move the money into a new account under a trust. That trust is named after someone who doesn't exist. It's a fake identity she created with an alternate email and virtual address. She planned it in layers so no one could catch her quickly. But a slip happened. One of the bank's internal security alerts went off after noticing that the trust's listed phone number was traced to her previous mobile SIM. Now, they've begun tracing the trail back to her. Archangel Michael says, your presence is being summoned in this divine courtroom, not of guilt but of justice. You will be the key to bringing balance back to your family name. But you must not delay. Every second she has puts another brick on the wall she's building to keep you out. Type Amen to get blessing 121. Archangel Michael says, you were never meant to live in the dark about your father's truth. But this silence was carefully planned, like a rope tied slowly around your legacy until it choked every connection you had to your father's last wishes. The hands doing this are not strangers. They are familiar, blood-bound, and smiling while holding the knife behind their back. Your sister has even contacted a property officer to inquire about land titles still under your father's name. She is trying to convert those into her sole ownership before you get a chance to act. What she does not realize is that one of those properties is already under spiritual protection. The angels have touched the document that holds the final title deed. That paper cannot be manipulated, because the ink your father used came from a sacred moment of truth, a moment when he told someone outside your family his real plans. That witness is alive, and they are ready to speak. Type Amen to get blessing 144. The most heartbreaking part is, your sister did all of this because she believed you wouldn't fight. She saw your quiet nature as weakness, your silence as surrender. But now the heavens are roaring with power, and you are about to become the fire she never saw coming. There are images of her inside a lawyer's office holding a folder labeled with your father's name. That folder contains handwritten edits she made herself, trying to pass them off as his notes. One of the documents has a visible correction mark, a mistake she made in rewriting the amount listed under remaining balance. The bank teller who processed the original instruction is being questioned as we speak. They admitted something didn't feel right but said they were pressured by a phone call your sister made before she arrived. That phone call was recorded. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. She mentioned that the other heir was out of the country and unfit to make decisions. That's what she told them about you. But the truth is, you were always available, you just weren't told what was happening. Archangel Michael says the phone records will confirm your exact location and status when that lie was told. It will prove you were nearby and should have been contacted. That single discovery will reset the entire claim she tried to construct. The court will open an inquiry soon. Your name will be on the list of those required to appear, not as the accused, but as the rightful one who must receive answers. And every document, every printout, every message she sent to remove you will be brought out one by one. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. Late one evening, your sister told a friend, he doesn't even know what's coming. That friend, unknowingly, recorded their conversation during a phone call about unrelated business. And now that recording is sitting in the hands of someone who feels guilty for keeping it. That person is coming forward. They know this isn't just legal, it's spiritual. Your father's peace is disturbed by how his love and labor are being twisted into greed. There's an account your sister hasn't touched yet, but she's preparing to. It holds not just money, but family tokens, photos, and letters your father stored in a vault. That vault can only be opened with a dual code, one she doesn't fully know. Type Amen to get blessing 6666. The second code rests in a place you visited with your father years ago. A place you almost forgot. But soon, you will remember it in a dream, and the code will echo in your heart like a bell ringing from the past. When you return to the bank, the energy will shift. The security guard will recognize your surname and walk you straight to a manager who has been waiting to meet someone from your side of the family. That manager will say, "I've seen your face in a photo. Your father showed it to me himself." That moment will break the chains your sister tried to place around your inheritance. Her lies are beginning to burn in the light of truth. What she thought she could erase, the divine is now rewriting in your favor. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. In secret, she has told others that you let go of the money long ago. But she never heard your voice say that. She convinced herself that by moving quickly, hiding documents, and using confusion, she could get away with it before you noticed. But the timeline has shifted. Divine order has stepped in. And a senior banker has been moved into position who was once mentored by a man your father respected deeply. This banker believes in honor, not deception. He will flag the account, reverse pending transfers, and start a trace on all recent activity. Your sister's name will be marked for further verification, and that's where the unraveling begins. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. A forensic specialist will examine the handwriting on a key document your sister submitted. They will find inconsistencies, even down to the pressure marks left on the paper. That report alone will lead to a case being reopened. You will be contacted and asked to verify dates, statements, and events only a true family member would know. When you do, the truth will explode like a light piercing a long hallway of shadows. Every secret room she built around your father's money will be torn down. She may try to cover her tracks again, but it's too late. The evidence is multiplying, and those watching now are no longer just humans, they are guided by the angels assigned to protect you. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. Your sister is beginning to feel the pressure. She's getting restless, making more calls, trying to shift blame onto technical errors and forgotten agreements. But the walls are closing in fast, and she doesn't realize that someone she once manipulated is now watching everything in silence, ready to testify. One of your late father's closest companions, someone quiet but wise, has come forward with a voice note saved on an old phone. It's your father speaking clearly, explaining what he wanted done with the money and why you were the one he trusted to handle it. That voice note will soon be handed over to the very people your sister lied to. Archangel Michael says, nothing can stop the truth from surfacing now. Her plan to freeze you out of your own birthright is shattering because your energy is awakening. You're not standing still anymore, you're being moved by divine force. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. She might pretend to cry when confronted, but don't let those tears confuse you. She's already rehearsed what she'll say when her lies catch up with her. But the truth doesn't bend to rehearsals, it burns straight through. There's a private investigator quietly reviewing the situation. He has no idea how spiritually charged this is. But he's about to become part of a divine exposure that will change his life forever. Your name will be restored in the system. A flagged file will be reopened, and a notification will be sent to your registered contact number. Don't ignore it, because that message will hold the key to unlocking everything she tried to bury. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. Documents will be re-examined. Old records will be pulled from storage. And your father's name will shine again, not as a tool of manipulation, but as the sacred root of your family's dignity and divine favor. The vault she tried to access will deny her entry when she returns. Her ID will flash red on the system, and a security officer will escort her away. She'll panic, but the officials have orders to review everything before letting her back in. Archangel Michael says the divine court has already ruled in your favor, and now the earthly court must obey. The money she moved will be traced. Even if she tried to reroute it through multiple banks, the digital fingerprints remain. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. What she doesn't know is that a portion of that money has already been spiritually locked. It will not flow, no matter where she sends it. The longer she touches it, the more her life will begin to unravel. Not by revenge, but by divine order correcting injustice. She's already begun to experience signs, unusual glitches, conversations she can't explain, cold stares from people who once supported her. That's not coincidence, that's accountability beginning its walk through her world. Soon, a letter will arrive. It will be addressed to both of you, but only one of you will have peace when reading it. That letter will demand clarity, validation, and transparency, and it will shake her calm beyond repair. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. The angels have stirred the environment. People around her are starting to talk, to ask, to doubt. She's trying to hold it all together with fabricated timelines and altered emails, but every lie has an expiration date, and hers is approaching fast. One specific banker who helped her initially is now cooperating with internal investigators. He has agreed to a full confession in exchange for immunity. In his possession are emails, recordings, and signed sheets that will prove your sister knew exactly what she was doing. You will be sent a copy of one of those emails. It contains her instructions to remove unnecessary names. Your name was listed as the one to be removed. That line alone is her downfall. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. In the coming days, your intuition will start burning. You'll feel a nudge to open a drawer, to revisit an old notebook, or to check a voice message from years ago. That is your father guiding you, pointing you toward forgotten truths that will become undeniable proof. Your sister will try to silence you again, maybe with sweet words, maybe with apologies she doesn't mean. But remember this, her intentions were exposed not through gossip, but through sacred revelation. She tried to block your blessing, but blessings protected by heaven cannot be blocked by humans. There's still one last move she's planning, one final attempt to transfer a small amount to another city. But the system will catch it, and when they ask who authorized it, she will have no answer. Type Amen to get blessing 2727. A meeting will be scheduled. You will be invited. She will be notified, and the room will fall silent when both your names are called. At that meeting, a representative will open a folder marked confidential. They will read aloud your father's final standing instructions, verified by voice authentication from the bank's legacy system. And it will say your name, not hers. Archangel Michael says, "Do not fear confrontation, because this time, truth will do the speaking for you. You were quiet before because you didn't know. Now that you know, no one can stop you." Type Amen to get blessing 3030. Her story ends when yours begins again. This is your restoration, not just financially but spiritually and emotionally. The chains are broken. If you feel it already in your bones, that stirring, that electricity, that's confirmation that what was stolen is on its way back. Not a single coin lost. Not a single truth erased. Every lie corrected. She may cry, but her tears cannot refund what was misused. Only confession, correction, and full surrender to the truth can do that. And that moment is fast approaching. Type Amen to get blessing 3131. You will look back at this and realize it was all part of divine design. The betrayal woke up your authority. The loss made you stronger. The exposure brought you your inheritance, not just in wealth, but in spirit. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.